ho, ho, ho. What's going on, lunch breakers and takers? This is another live episode of the Lunch Break Hot Take. I am Jose.
And this is Brodney.
And we are here. This is Victory Wednesday. Okay. Victory Wednesday and Preview Wednesday as well. Okay. Ravens got a big win over the Titans in round one or a super wild card weekend. We discussed that, did a few videos on that, and now we're getting ready to discuss their upcoming opponent, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, since we spent one of those videos talking entirely about the Chiefs because there was no chance that Cleveland was going to beat Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
So that was fantastic.
My bad. My bad. Yeah. So we're going to discuss some Bills today. Ravens versus Bills. We're going to get into some coaching hirings and, not hired. And, have the Panthers found their new GM? Ooh. And the big news, as you see in the title, James Harden traded to the Nets, my Brooklyn Nets. Haters want to hate. I'm already getting hate messages on my phone. Oh, it's not going to work. Oh, I give it a year. Okay. All right. We'll talk about that. All right. And then, of course, what we're going to do with Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right. So let's start out. Ravens versus Bills. If you guys listen to our podcast, Lunch Break Hot Take, we already gave you a little preview of this weekend's matchup. I think it's pretty evenly matched. What do you think, B?
I think so as well. I think that Buffalo's more talented on the offense, obviously. Like it's kind of strength on strength for this one. The Ravens defense played great last week against Tennessee. Buffalo's got skill position players all over the place, like just really deep at wide receiver. I mean, 5 deep if you want to count Isaiah Ford.
Yeah.
I think that this is one of those games where, like I said, this is the only time you're really going to hear me say this. This is where Baltimore should really look to lean on the run game heavily.
Yeah.
And try to shorten the game as much as possible. I'm talking about like 20 plus carries for Dobbins, 10 plus for Edwards, and 10 plus for Lamar as well. But, most of those should come through scrambles, things like that, not designed runs. But I think Buffalo's run defense is a little soft. I think they need to exploit that as much as possible. Try to speed up the game that way, letting the clock run.
Yeah.
Defensively, I mean, it's going to be tough. Josh Allen is playing out of his mind this year. Stephon Diggs has been one of the top receivers in the league. I think they need to try and frustrate Allen as much as possible. I think they can go ahead and really ignore the run game for the most part. Buffalo doesn't have a great run game and they lost Zach Moss for the season. I think they need to tell their linebackers, don't react to runs. Give it that extra 1 or 2 beats to make sure that it's a run play before you react to that. Just kind of hang back, play the pass first and foremost. Tell your D-line, make sure you're not even really trying to rush to get pressure. Just contain Allen. Don't give him any running lanes. Get your hands up on every pass attempt. And, they're going to have to man up on the outside with Diggs and Brown and, whoever they get for Beasley, because it's going to be Humphrey and Peters for the most part on the outside. And they just got to try to frustrate Josh Allen, make him hold the ball in the pocket, make him throw into tight windows, make him make good decisions for the full length of the game, and see if they can frustrate him into making a mistake.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. And for us on our offense, run the ball. I mean, they are a poor run defense, which I was surprised by, man. I thought they were a better defense than that. I know last year they were much better. Not sure what happened, but they can't stop the run to save their lives. And I mean, they showed it this past weekend. I mean, Colts ran all over them. I think they averaged like 5 yards a carry.
Right.
So I mean, that's going to be key for us. And a run defense that's that poor plays into our hands because not only are we moving the chains, but we can control the clock like we want to, right? So, like you said, give Josh Allen less chances to throw the balls, and take away the deep pass and make him think and dunk his way down the field and try to frustrate him. So we got a couple comments in here. Oh man, Ferris, Fair. What's going on, Ferris? Keep the Bills offense on the sideline like the Giants did in that Super Bowl. Yeah. Yeah.
Stepping into the Wayback Machine.
We got coach in the house. Our LBHT Pick'em's champion. What's going on?
Man,
He
whatever.
says Ravens didn't run too many misdirection plays versus the Titans as they did in previous games. No. What they did was they did because look, it wasn't working. That's one. But they did a lot of swing passes, which surprised me because they don't do a lot of those. I think I saw one screen pass too. I can't remember if it was a screen or a swing to Hollywood, but it worked. So
Yeah.
they didn't keep doing that. Courtney Rogers, thank you for joining the live stream. Arizona rushed for 217 against the Bills. We should go for 250. Exactly.
Man, they should be good for 300 if that's the case. I mean,
Yeah.
Arizona and all that.
Let me give a quick shout out over on Sportscaster, the crowd on Sportscaster behind the ball sports. Thank you for joining the live stream. Socks are best 35. Thank you for joining the live stream. And everybody that's over here on YouTube, we appreciate you. And Periscope, everybody that's watching on Periscope. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button over on YouTube. If you're on Sportscaster, just click that follow button. You want to drop a little tip, feel free to. If you guys want to support the show, you always got to mention right there. We got patreon.com/LBHT show, LBHT show. And then where B's pointing up right there, because if I try to point, it's going to be the wrong direction. That's the wrong direction, isn't it? It's that way.
No, you got it.
Okay. Yeah. Scan that QR code for our Cash App. If you have Cash App, just type in $LBHT show. Drop a little donation. Leave a comment. Make sure you leave a comment so we can read it on air. All right. Bruno Moraine. He says, not sure why this is made out of to be a high-scoring game with all the snow talk. You can score a lot in the snow. You don't remember that game we had against the Vikings? We scored like 5 touchdowns in 2 minutes.
I think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring game. I think Baltimore really is going to try to stick with the run and shorten the game as much as possible. I think they want to have Josh Allen out there thinking, man, I gotta make something happen right now because I'm only going to get X number of possessions. So I think they want to shorten it.
Yeah.
So I don't see a lot of points in this one.
Derek Weatherly, our guy Derek Weatherly, thank you for joining the live stream. Misdirection seems to go against our hard-nosed run mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. that old Joey Porter mindset of, hey, why are you trying to trick us? Just come out and play.
The spirit of justice. The media really is pushing the Lamar never playing in the snow thing. They have to find something. They got to find something. Yeah.
Well, Lamar did say himself that he doesn't want to play in the snow. So
yeah, just because. Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't want to get tackled either. That doesn't mean if he gets tackled, he's going to fall apart, right?
But he's been tackled before. He's never played in the snow before.
Yeah. But the media's got to find something. They have to find something to knock him down, man. Like, they really hate that they got this wrong with Lamar, right? There's a bunch of reasons for that, right? It's a lot deeper than you think, but they really hate that they're wrong about this, and they're just waiting for any little thing to be like, you see, like that's what's going to be his downfall.
Yeah.
Young Black Intelligent, thank you for joining the live stream. Is Josh Allen that good?
And if you asked me that a year ago, I would say absolutely not. But you got to give him his credit, and he's playing out of his mind. He's got all the talent in the world, and it's another example of just the situation matters a lot for how people see you and how your career goes, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's too much of a different player than he was before. He was always kind of a little streaky where he would miss a lot of throws, but he was pretty accurate at times as well. He has the big arm and he can run and all that. But they went out and they got him Stephon Diggs, they got him John Brown, they got him Cole Beasley, they brought in Devin Singletary, they fixed the O-line, and so you put a lot of talent around him, and now the production is following, right? Whereas if he was somewhere else, maybe he still looks like a bust. Yeah.
So Josh Allen is exactly what the media says about Lamar Jackson, right? I don't mean that. Well, it's kind of a bad way, but when I put it all together, it'll be good. But he was a one read quarterback, run first type of quarterback, right? He's gonna look for that one read. If it's not there, he's gonna run for it, right? He always rolled out of pocket. He didn't feel comfortable standing in the pocket, and he just liked to sling it down the field. Right, not that accurate. That was who he was. He went to, but he's a perfect example of when an organization is fully behind their quarterback. They have a vision for him. They believe in him, and they're going to do everything that they possibly can to make sure he succeeds. You get Josh Allen, right? They took him. Yeah, he was raw, and they said, okay, look, he feels more comfortable running. We're gonna let him run. That's fine, right? And we're gonna have a great defense, right? To make sure he has opportunities to keep, to keep running and throwing the ball down the field. And then this year, like you said, we're going to add more talent around him, because when you're not that good of a passer, when you're not that accurate, you don't get worse talent, you get better talent. You get wide receivers with a wider catch radius, right? Not a smaller one. So they went and got one for him, and he's exceeding. And yeah, he's going to get better. He's not done growing. So
and to his credit, everybody says he went out and he put in a ton of work this offseason on his own to get better as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, when an organization is behind you, that encourages a quarterback to go out there and put in even more work, right? Because they're like, okay, these guys are, they believe in me. I don't want to let them down. As opposed to, when you hear about Vince Young with Tennessee, right? Like he knew from the jump that coaching staff didn't want him there, so he's just like, well, they don't want me here, man. Forget them. Right. I'm just gonna go out there, I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna just do me. It's a completely different mentality, man. But yes, Josh Allen, he is that good, man. He is that good. But we got the better quarterback. Okay, what we got here? How many passing attempts you think is ideal for Lamar this Saturday?
Ideal? 10 to 15, ideally. I mean, that means the run game is working. The Buffalo's not out ahead. So, yeah, I mean, ideally in this game, because they do say, they're not sure if it's going to be snow, but they're expecting bad weather regardless.
Yeah.
If they go out there and they work the run game and they stay ahead of Buffalo, he doesn't need to throw very much.
Right. If it's just bad weather, I mean, I think people forget Baltimore. I mean, we ain't got great weather over here. Ferris says, you actually throw more in the snow, so I'm expecting a lot of passes. Okay. I don't know. Look, we want to run the ball against a bad run defense. That's what you want to do, right? Ideally, 15, 20 passes. Look, I want this to be a passing offense so bad, right? I think Lamar can thrive in a passing offense, right? I don't think he's as inaccurate as people make it out to be. I think we don't have the coaching staff that can do that. So, with Greg Roman here, you got to limit the amount of passes, because I don't think he's good at drawing up passing plays.
Well, and they also don't have the talent right now.
They don't. Really Let me fall back on Greg Roman a little bit. I said I was going to fall back a little bit after last week. But yeah, I don't think he's that talented in terms of the pass game. No. But yeah, you have to give him talent, absolutely, and they don't have that right now. So yeah. Gosh, child, what is going on, Gosh, child?
What's up, Gosh, child?
Thanks for joining the live stream. Oh, also over on Sportscaster, Queen of Kings. Thank you for joining the live stream. I see you over there. What we got here? Derek Weatherly says Allen gets his credit, but McDermott and Benet got fingerprints all over that. That is
absolutely
true. Yeah. And I know you know about Sean McDermott coming from the Panthers.
Yeah, Brandon Bean also. He's the GM over there.
I said Benet Bean. I meant
Well, speaking of, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and transition to that right now. We want to talk about the
Hold
Panthers.
on. We didn't give. Do you want to give score prediction?
Man, honestly, I'm thinking something like 17-10 for this one, and I'm not even sure which way. But I'm gonna pick Baltimore. I'm gonna say Baltimore controls the game with their run game, and they squeak one out 17-10.
Okay. I'm going to pick, it's going to be a similar score to last week. I'm going to say 23-13 Ravens. All right.
Okay.
You guys put your predictions in the comments to see what you got here. He said we thought we were going to say 20-25. Nah, I don't see it with this, man. If we're doing 20-25, something's going wrong, I think.
Well, you asked ideally. Ideally, I think it would be lower. But, yeah, I mean, if Buffalo puts up some points, yeah, you're going to have to pass it. You're gonna have to start passing.
Coach of the Titans at Packers was high scoring for Green Bay. Yeah, boy, was it. I want that kind of high scoring game too. God's Child says 28-14 Ravens.
Okay.
Coach says 31-24.
Wow.
Ooh, okay. Look, they're both high scoring offenses. It wouldn't surprise me. Right.
I guess I'm the only one who sees a return to old school smash mouth football this week.
All right, Derek Weatherly said, "Oh, we got a Bills pick here, 25-13 Bills."
Ooh.
Hey, look, man, look. When you're at this point in the playoffs, man, nothing's a shocker, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, realistically, Buffalo's the better team, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to transition. Keep putting your comments in there, but we're going to transition. Juwan Johnson, Juwan Johnson, because I don't know how you pronounce it. Thank you for joining the live stream over in Sportscaster. Man, I see you in there, man. You keep joining our live streams. I appreciate that. Sam Cook, what up? Thank you for joining the live stream, man. Appreciate it.
I just got an alert that one Ferris just signed up for Patreon. Thank you.
My man Ferris, man, appreciate you. Oh, and I forgot to mention, man, make sure you guys check out Let's Get Ready. It's the Let's Get Ready Network now, right?
That's right.
It's Let's Get Ready Network. Okay, these guys, they talk Schmoedown, they talk sports, they do Star Wars.
I mean, basically anything that you want, you will find it on the Let's Get Ready Network.
And if you like our sports takes, man, you're gonna definitely like Ferris and Suge sports takes, man. Like they know their sports, man. They know their stuff. And if you watched it last week, they were here. They were on this show. So yeah, definitely support those guys, man. I appreciate you, Ferris, man. Sam Cook says the Ravens are winning. Just stop the cap. Man, lay off my man Derek, man. He just look. It's fine, Derek. It's fine. We ain't gonna jump on you over here. It's all good, man. It's all good. Say what you feel. Bruno says 21-17 Ravens. Okay, Bruno.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. All right. So real quick, you guys, I know a lot of you guys came for some Ravens talk. We can keep talking Ravens. We're going to transition real quick to some more football stuff. We're going to go into some Panthers because I know my man Derek's here for some Panthers stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Panthers
so
content.
Panthers are in the middle of a GM search. Right? They've narrowed it down to 4 finalists. We want to focus in on one who kind of everybody thinks is going to get the job. That's Adam Peters.
Yeah.
He's currently the VP of player personnel in San Francisco. Previously, the director of college scouting for the Broncos. Before that, he was a scout for the New England Patriots. Right. So, with these kind of hires, I mean, with guys who have never been GMs before, you never really know how they're going to turn out because you're not privy to what their takes were on particular players. Like they're not making the picks, right?
Yeah.
But Adam Peters is getting what's up, Engraven?
What's up, Engraven?
Adam Peters has been getting a lot of credit for building the Broncos Super Bowl team that beat Carolina a few years ago.
Yeah.
Saying that he was instrumental in bringing in Von Miller, which, I mean, okay, he was the number 2 pick, but whatever, that's fine. Chris Harris, C.J. Anderson, Malik Jackson, a lot of their impact players.
Yeah.
He's been described by the Broncos, people in the Broncos front office as a savant when he was leaving to go to San Francisco. And, honestly, seems to be doing a decent job in San Francisco. He's got 3 Super Bowl rings, from New England and Denver. So the thing that, that all sounds great, right? But the only thing that kind of makes me wary of an Adam Peters hire is the Matt Rule connection again. And that's just because I just don't like it when coaches only hire people that they know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the NFL, unfortunately, man. It's a league of nepotism. And, that's why, my theory. If you guys listen to the podcast, my theory, man. I think like a good 40% of the league, and I'm talking about like from the top, from president, GM, assistant, coaches, all that stuff. I think about 40% of the league, they're not professional level. They're not really qualified for the job, right? Like it plays out every year, man. It's just people getting hired because they know somebody and they get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. So when you see some of these moves being made, when you ask yourself, well, man, why won't they do this, man? Why does the team always suck? Because the people that are running the team don't belong there, right?
Right.
So, Sam Cook has a question here.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones, quarterback for the Panthers.
No, thank you.
Mac Jones.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I would not like that.
Mac Jones. He had 5 touchdowns.
I was about to actually get into that. Just to mention real quick the Matt Rule connection. Adam Peters played defensive end for UCLA in college. Matt Rule was the defensive line coach there for a year, so that's kind of how they know each other. The thing that I was going to mention, the other thing that kind of, like I said, you never really know, but New England, Denver, San Francisco. At what point has he shown the ability to pick a quarterback, right?
Right.
And the answer is kind of never, really. And that's the main thing in Carolina right now. Teddy Bridgewater's kind of fallen out of favor with the coaching staff and potentially with the ownership. He'll still be there, but they're picking 8th, and they're going to have an opportunity to bring in a new franchise quarterback. They're already out there looking at Dwayne Haskins to potentially bring him in. So Mac Jones, I'm not a fan of Mac Jones. I don't think he's particularly good, but he won't be in the conversation that high anyway. I mean, he'd be more of a second-day pick. Where Carolina's picking, you're going to be looking at, potentially trading up for Justin Fields. Well, I mean, you may not even have to trade up for Justin Fields. I mean, Zach Wilson, I think, is going to go second after Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
But you're looking at Justin Fields. You're looking at Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with either one of those guys. I'd be happy if they really love Zach Wilson and wanted to trade up and get Zach Wilson as well.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about Adam Peters. He's been scouting Zach Wilson this year for San Francisco.
Yeah.
Obviously we don't know how he feels about Wilson at this point, but that's the real thing that makes me nervous about this new GM hire, because they're coming in. You've already got problems on the roster, right? You got to overhaul the defense, or the secondary at least.
Yeah.
You need to fix the O-line. You have to make sure you can keep Taylor Moton, and ideally you would want to keep Curtis Samuel, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But you have to fix the quarterback spot also.
Yeah.
So you need somebody who can really evaluate the quarterback position, and I don't know if that's Adam Peters.
You got 2 people asking about Mac Jones, Coach and Ferris.
Come on,
Ferris
Coach.
had another question too. He want to know if we're going to discuss the Deshaun Watson situation. I think you're talking about. I mean, did we discuss it a little bit last week?
We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about it real quick, because Andre Johnson actually tweeted about that the other day.
For the first time in over almost 2 years, I think it was. Or 1 year. Andre Johnson doesn't tweet very much. We'll just put it that way. So
by the way, I saw a picture of him, man. He is
Houston.
Man, I saw a picture of him. He's still ripped. He looks like he could still. he looks like he could go out there and run routes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, most of you guys already know what's going on. Deshaun Watson isn't happy in Houston.
In large part because of their GM hiring Nick Caserio without consulting him, and then not hiring or not talking to Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, exactly, right. And this is after them saying, "Hey, we're going to work with you to take a look at bringing in the right people or whatever," and they just completely ignored him. And usually when stuff like that happens, it's because the ownership is trying to push that player out, right? And they just don't want it to fall back on them. They don't want to look like they're the bad guys. But it's 2021, man. Those tactics don't work anymore. Everybody can see right through that. So when Deshaun Watson goes out there and tweets, "Hey, same old Houston, nothing changes," and then it's getting backed up by Andre Johnson, and then you see a bunch of other former players backing up what Andre Johnson says, it doesn't look good for your organization, man.
Yeah.
So go ahead and trade him. Question to you guys though: where do you think he's going to end up?
Right now, my thing has been, I see him going to San Francisco and being the quarterback for Shanahan there. And I think that would put them, this is what I said on our podcast, this is my hot take for the middle of January, is that San Francisco will trade for Deshaun Watson and that they will be in the Super Bowl next year.
Okay. San Francisco, huh? What about the Rams, though?
I don't know how easy it is for the Rams to get out of that Jared Goff deal. Part of why I say San Francisco is they can move on from Garoppolo with no problem this offseason.
Yeah. That's a good point. Derek, what do you got to say here? O'Brien was a fail fully,
Oh,
and Houston has given him
yeah,
nothing over the years. That's correct.
absolutely.
Okay. Z the Beast. Thank you for joining the live stream. He says Watson to Carolina, Washington,
I
or the
like the way
Niners.
you think, Z.
We'll stop
I
at
like it.
Carolina. Oh, Watson to Carolina, man. Okay, all right. Okay, Ferris. This is a great question because we're going to transition to this right now. Did you see that they requested to interview Eric Bieniemy?
I did see that, and I see they requested it after the deadline for interviewing him. So they
Yeah,
have to wait until after the Chiefs are done now. Yeah, we did want to talk about Eric Bieniemy because there's sources out there saying that there's a good chance he doesn't get a head coaching job this year.
yeah,
Uh, and what the reason that they're saying that is concerns about the Andy Reid concerns about the Andy Reid coaching tree, which, as a lot of people have pointed out, is ridiculous because the Andy Reid coaching tree is coaching every team left in the playoffs right now.
yeah,
They're all from the Andy Reid coaching tree, uh, and it's obvious the real reason why he might not get a job. And it's something the NFL's been trying to address. They have the Rooney Rule. They put in those rules this year, even extending to the front office, getting draft pick compensation for hiring minorities. But it's just a problem in the NFL. And,
yeah,
this kind of ties in with Carolina also. I know this guy hasn't gotten a job yet, but you look at somebody like Joe Brady, who had no offensive coordinator experience, really.
yeah,
Uh, off of the 1 year at LSU, he gets an NFL offensive coordinator job. 1 year in the NFL, and now he's interviewed. He's had 5 or 6 interviews for head coaching spots.
yeah,
You don't have a problem with him. You know, uh, Eric Bieniemy does have some off-field stuff in his past 30 years ago, but I know that's not the problem because you've got teams going after Urban Meyer, who was covering up for a woman beater a year ago.
right.
You don't have any problem bringing him in.
I remember when Tom Cable, he had a head coaching job and he got multiple, position coaching jobs after he showed that he couldn't be a head coach. And he had like 3 wives that came out to said that he used to beat on them. And he beat up his own assistant coach, right?
Well, he beat up a spy. That's what he beat up.
So
yeah, no.
that's not the problem, man.
The NFL
Look,
doesn't have a problem with bad people.
no. Look, it's still a diversity issue. And look, me and B, look, we don't shy away from that talk here. But, black coaches, black quarterbacks, it's still an uphill battle for them, man. They have to do more than the white counterparts.
Yeah.
McNabb said that years ago, right? And he got crushed for saying that, but he's absolutely right. What Eric Bieniemy is doing right now, if it's any other coach, if it was a white coach, no question, he'd have been snatched up already.
Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl 3 years ago. Matt Nagy's made the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. That's part of Andy Reid's coaching tree also.
Ferris is right, man. Yeah. You're right. That's all it is to it. That's all there is to it, man.
They're talking about his quarterback coach, Mike Kafka.
Yes.
Potentially getting the Philadelphia job. And how is that going to look if he gets a job and Eric Bieniemy is still sitting there OC? We've said it multiple times before. If I'm Kansas City, at this point, I just go to him, I give him a raise and say, you're going to be the coach when Andy quits. That's it.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. At this point, if I'm Bieniemy, right, or if I'm the team, give Bieniemy a raise and say, look, just stay put. You'll be the head coach and waiting over here, right? Like, why even try to go through another coaching search when we already have our coach right here on the staff for when Andy Reid leaves, right? Do the same thing. Look, everybody aspires to be a head coach, but do the same thing the Ravens did with Eric DeCosta. Eric DeCosta has been the GM in waiting for about 10 years, okay? And they just kept on paying him more. You know how many jobs how many interviews he's turned down? Every year people were requesting interviews with this man, and he kept on turning it down. Ravens like, hey, just stay put. You're the GM in waiting. Now he's the GM, right? Mm-hmm. Do the same thing with Eric Bieniemy. Just pay him more money. Tell him stay put. You're going to be a head coach in waiting, all right? Sam Cook. Was it Sam Cook? You wanted us to talk about Tua. He says, can you talk about the Tua situation on some players anonymously saying that they are unimpressed with him? My thing is this. I'm not a fan of those anonymous comments because you don't know who's saying it. It could be Ryan Fitzpatrick saying it, right?
it could also be nobody saying it.
It could be nobody. It could be yeah. Like you don't know who anonymous is, so I don't put much stock into that. Like being unimpressed. He had them winning this whole time. He gave him a chance to make it to the playoffs. Just because he got pulled from from a situational moments, 2-minute warning here and second half of one game there. That doesn't mean that he's not your quarterback, right? Like, again, like, what are we talking about here? He's a rookie, right? He's a rookie, and he looked pretty solid. Did he look great in his first year? No, most rookies don't. Yeah. So why are we talking about him maybe not being the quarterback for that team? Like, yeah, he's a quarterback of the future there, man. Like, they're gonna be fine, right? Okay. Fair says, yeah, Mike Kafka, former Northwestern quarterback. Are you kidding? Are you actually kidding? Yeah, that's
what else he is? He's a former Philadelphia Eagle quarterback, which is apparently what matters.
Yeah. Z the Beast wants to know, if the Ravens lose and fire Harbaugh, who do you think will likely get the job, and who would you want the job? The guy we were just talking about, Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, I don't know if he would be the one who was likely to get it, but that's who I would want them to hire.
Yeah.
In terms of who would actually get it, I don't know. I mean, that's tough. The Ravens are, they're a pretty conservative organization. They're a defense first organization. So maybe a Robert Saleh.
Wink Martindale.
Yeah, no, I could see that also.
Yeah.
But we would want them to go in an offensive direction with a Bieniemy.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to move on to the next topic there? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I know I'm ready. Look, so you guys keep posting your questions and comments. I'm gonna read them. We have a couple of things we want to talk about, but if you guys want to discuss something off topic, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Young Black Intelligence says, I don't think they should keep Roman, but I bet that they do. Look, I'll say this: the further they go in the playoffs, the more likely that this coaching staff stays put.
Yeah.
So
and I wouldn't be opposed to that. I don't like Greg Roman for this team. I would want them to move on. But if you're going to commit to adding weapons to the offense, then fine, whatever.
So the thing I don't like about Greg Roman, everything looks fine right now, right, with the Ravens, because Lamar is just an amazing player, and what he's doing seems to fit his style. It seems to fit his style because he's very athletic, right? So everybody's okay with Lamar running the ball 15 times a game. The problem is 3-4 years from now, when Lamar gets a little dinged up, right? Those hits add up a little bit, and you can't run them as much anymore, right? He gets a little injury here and there because you're running them too much, right? Pulls a hamstring or something like that. Then it's a matter of, well, you got to rely on his arm. And you and I both say all the time, like, he's an excellent passer. Like, there's nothing wrong with him passing the ball, right? He needs to develop into a better passer. Well, he can develop to an even better passer, but he's a very good passer right now.
Yeah.
But you don't have a coaching staff, and you're not going to build a coaching staff or wide receivers around him to take advantage of that. So when that time comes to where it's like, okay, we need to have a more balanced attack, he can't do it, right? Greg Roman can't do it. He's on the staff, and then we're just stuck with him because we signed him for like 3 years or whatnot, or we're just struggling through the season because that's what we have. So you got to recognize that now, right? While he's young and he can do all these amazing things, have somebody that can fully take advantage of his potential and his talents.
Yeah. But yeah, if they win another game, if they win this weekend, I mean, there's a good shot that they just come back with the same coaching staff.
Yeah. Sam Cook says, as a Ravens fan from Maryland, I don't see them firing Harbaugh anytime soon. If he has a losing season in the next years, they probably mutually part ways. Probably. He's not getting fired this year, I don't think. If they miss the playoffs, I think there was a good chance. But
Lamar saved his job.
Yeah, again. Saved his job again. This is the second time he saved his job. Coach wants to know, what's the difference between Eric Bieniemy as compared to Jay Gruden, Rams head coach, or 49ers head coach?
Well, one of them is black.
Yeah.
So that's really, that's
Yeah.
kind of what it is.
Young Black Intelligence says, is it me or is it crazy that Boykins only gets one target per game? That's the offense, bro. That's the offense.
No, it is crazy because it should be closer to 0.
Nah, he stepped up the last couple of weeks, though. He stepped up the last couple of weeks. Look, he was open on that one. Look, Lamar threw that bad interception, man. Like, he had a step on Malcolm Butler. That could have been a big play for Boykin.
He missed on that play, but I mean, they say, oh, you'll never go broke doing whatever. You will find yourself homeless adding targets to Miles Boykin's plate.
Yeah. Z the Beast. To me, Lamar just needs to work on his anticipation. Yeah. QB School had a great video today. That's what's his name? I forget the guy's name. He had a great video today, and it's not his arm; it's just the details and mechanics. Yeah,
and that's every young quarterback. It takes time to grow into that. Lamar's under a lot of scrutiny because he hit the field and immediately started winning.
Yeah,
so he doesn't get the same kind of, he doesn't get the same opportunity to develop, in the background that other quarterbacks get.
Yeah. Yo, Sam Cook says he's Lamar's neighbor. Nice. Okay. Tell him we said what's up.
Yeah.
Tell him to like and subscribe to this channel.
That's right. No, don't tell him. Tell him to come on this channel for an interview.
Yeah. There you go. All right, guys. We're moving on. It is time. I know there's a lot of Ravens fans in here. We can look. Keep your comments in there. Hang around. We'll talk some more Ravens after this, but it's time to talk about my Brooklyn Nets.
Insufferable.
My Brooklyn Nets. Hold on, let me find the ticker here. Dun, 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 dun. James Harden. James Harden is going to Brooklyn. Okay.
Let me read out the full trade details here.
Yes.
The Houston Rockets get Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum, Kuruks, 3 Brooklyn first-round picks in 22, 24, and 26, Milwaukee's first in 2022, and 4 pick swaps with Brooklyn in 21, 23, 25, and 27. Brooklyn is getting James Harden, and that's it. The Pacers get Karis LeVert in a second, and the Cleveland Cavaliers get center Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince.
Nice. Whoa, Z the Beast, the disrespect here. Lakers in 6. What?
Lakers in 4.
What? He said the locker room is a mess. If by locker room you mean Kyrie Irving, yes.
Well, no. if you mean Kyrie Irving, then false, because he's not in the locker room.
Because you're not in the locker room. Yeah. I don't know if you watched the game last night, but we look pretty good without him. So I think we're playing right now. I think they tip off at 7:30. They're playing the Knicks. So Ferris, we're gonna keep an eye. We're gonna keep an eye on that score. Z the Beast says Houston won that trade.
No, listen. This always happens in the NBA when a superstar gets traded, and it's a long list of stuff because you try to get all the value you can get. Whoever got the superstar won the trade.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
I'll say this.
People said the same thing when LeBron went to LA. Not LeBron. I'm sorry. Anthony Davis went to LA and they traded, Ingram and Lonzo and Hard and all that. No, man, the superstar wins the trade every time.
Well, look, I'll say this. It's not a bad trade for Houston. They did what they had to do, right? He didn't want to be there anymore. He said it on TV last night, like, yo, it's not working out. I need to go. So you do what you got to do. Yeah. But it's always a loss when you lose a superstar like that, man. I mean, he's an amazing player. I mean, even right now, he's out of shape and he's still dropping 40. All right.
Role players, it's that old saying, right?
Thank you, Sam Cook. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It that old saying, 5 nickels don't equal a quarter.
Yeah.
Fair
said, damn right we will. Yeah. No. Houston's gonna be fine, man. Like, what I say about Houston is they're always aggressive, trying to find good players, right? Mm-hmm. They haven't won it all, but they're always competitive, and that's not going to change. Like, they're still going to compete, right?
If they stay healthy, they've got a nice roster there with John Wall and Cousins and Oladipo. They did well in that trade.
Yeah,
but losing James Harden is not a good thing.
Yeah. Now let's talk about my Nets. Okay, so look, let's talk about the Kyrie Irving situation, right?
Yeah.
Kyrie, this weirdo, man. Like, this guy. I look, Kyrie was a means to an end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn couldn't get KD without signing Kyrie as well, right? They were a package deal, so it had to be done. You can call him a head case and all that stuff. I get it, man. And he causes problems, and I get all that. But again, we got KD out of it, so I don't regret it one bit. Now, what's going on with him now? He just decided not to show up one day, and there's different reasons and reports out there as to why he's not showing up. Some think it has to do with the attack on Capitol Hill the other day, and him just kind of protesting that. There was a report today. Was it today, B? That he has some issue with the organization.
I saw today that he's upset with the Nets because he didn't have a voice in their head coaching search, and he didn't want Steve Nash. And that him and Durant's relationship is kind of frayed. They've been very distant.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care at this point what it is. The important thing is if they are not as close now as they were previously, Durant and Irving, then go ahead and trade him for whatever you can get and just be done with it.
Yeah, I agree. Even before all this happened, I told B, I was like, man, if I'm the Nets, I'm just trading Kyrie for Harden and just tell KD, look, it just had to be done, and he'll get over it, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like no, KD wants him out too. And if I'm KD, I'd be pissed, man, because look, like we talked about this and we made this move together. It's a big move. I spent this year rehabbing to get myself ready for this, and then you just not showing up at random games and you're on Zoom parties and all this stuff. Nah, man, we got a problem.
Yeah.
We have a problem. They're playing right now, and he's not out there because he just doesn't feel like it. Like, nah, man, you get what you can for him. Get what you can. Let's Get Ready Network. Okay, these are the guys. You got to make sure you follow Let's Get Ready Network. This is probably Suge. Me and Ferris ain't that close anymore either. Can I trade Ferris for Brian? That's going to cost you. It's going to cost you, Suge. Suge is a Steelers fan. We ain't talk about we ain't talk about that around here.
Yeah. Be gentle. He's mourning.
Yeah, our respect to Suge and our good friend Parker, who's a Steelers fan on the show. We're not going to talk too much about that game. Yeah. But no, just wrap it up real quick, man. Like, whatever happens with Kyrie, look, I trust Brooklyn to do the right thing, man. Like, they've shown that they know how to build a winning franchise. Like, they came from nothing. Like, this new management came in here and they really just took it to the next level. And trading, look, right now, as it stands right now, it's KD, Harden, and Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
So if they work things out with Kyrie, great. If not, kick rocks. We can trade Kyrie and we can bring in some other pieces. But that team is ready to go, man. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And it sucks. Like, everybody loved D'Angelo Russell. Everybody
all right,
loved,
Suge, man. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate
thanks,
it.
buddy. Everybody loved Russell. Everybody loved Karis LeVert and Jared Allen. It's a great story how they got those guys later in the draft and built them up and developed them, and it was all homegrown and everything.
Hold up. Derek wants to know if you're worthy of draft picks. He's a borderline first rounder.
Wow. Borderline first.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that Kevin Costner writes down on the Post-it note and puts in his pocket for the entire draft day movie. Okay?
Yeah.
It's Friday no matter what. But so those guys, everybody loves those guys, and it's a great story. And Brooklyn was a really fun, scrappy team a couple of years ago, but now it's time to win a title. You know, and those guys aren't winning you a championship. They could have been role players on a title team, but you had to go get that star. Then you wave bye to them. You thank them for their services and you wish them well elsewhere.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Zeta Beast says Kyrie to OKC. He's calling it right now.
Okay.
Man, I don't care where he goes, man. I just want him off the team. I just want him off the team, man. I do not like this man. Like, look, if he wants to take time away from the sport to focus on, social issues, that's very commendable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, right? If you want to play and also bring awareness, I'm cool with that too,
Yeah.
Right. I got no problem with that. But it seems like he just wants attention.
But
Right.
yeah, you gotta tell your job what you're doing.
Yeah. You can't have it. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
Right. I'm going to play when I feel like playing, and I want all my money, and I'll just show up when I feel like showing up, and sometimes I won't show up. You can't be halfway in like that.
No.
So either you're going to take some time away and handle your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're going to be all in, and you can still do both, right? But what you're doing right now is not acceptable, man. You're acting like a child.
Yeah.
And that alone, I wouldn't want him on the team just for that. Because like, you think he's going to grow up all of a sudden throughout the season? No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. Look, Kyrie got his ring, and he's fine, right? He's gotten everything he wants out of the sport, right? He's got numbers. He established himself as a star. He's made money, and he got himself a championship ring. He doesn't care about anything else. KD is playing for legacy, right?
Yeah.
So KD needs somebody in there who cares just as much as him, and it's clear it's not Kyrie. I don't know if it's Harden either, but Harden's going to take it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, Kyrie served his purpose in Brooklyn. I think that, I'm on record as saying I don't think James Harden cares enough, but maybe that's starting to turn around now. Like if it was just that, right? Like if he still was that guy who just didn't care, why force your way out of Houston?
Yeah.
Houston loved and defended him nonstop against everyone. Why would you want to leave?
Yeah. Yeah. Z to B says Giannis looks real bad right now. Kyrie is probably going to get traded. Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll see.
As far as Giannis looking bad, it's so early. It's so early in a season where they didn't have a break, and so I can't, I can't put too much weight into what's happening right now. These guys, some of these guys had 2 months off. They're not ready to be playing again yet.
Yeah.
And hey, the way things have been going in the NBA recently, they might have a break coming up. They've been postponing a lot of games recently, and they're talking about potentially hitting pause for a week or two on the season.
This is what happens when you get too greedy, man, because had they just pushed the season back like they should have, there's a good chance that by the time they come back, all these players could have been vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wouldn't have been an issue. Push it back a few more months, and
they said their issue was lost revenue.
Look, not lost revenue, right? You're making less money, but they didn't lose money. What I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not lost profit. They're losing revenue. That's why they're talking about adding a couple of teams to the league at this point to make up for it.
Yeah, okay, but if you can't go, you can't go, right? Like I understand you want to make money, but if you still end up canceling games, are you making money? No, you're not making money, right? So you got to do what's best.
Yeah,
all right.
It was a tough situation for them, but I think push comes to shove, they should have just waited.
All right, look, Sam Cook, I'm gonna put you on the spot, bro. You said Lamar and I talk are kind of close, not to flex. All right, man. You talking?
Kind of sounds like you flexing, man.
Yeah, look. Since you kind of close, you tell them, say, hey, I'm gonna send you a link. These two guys, they're dope, man. They talk about you all the time. They got your back. You know what I'm saying? Throw a little something on their Cash App. Subscribe on their Patreon. Buy one of their shirts. Oh, by the way, guys, we haven't been pushing our merch yet, but pretty soon we're gonna have some T-shirts and
we're gonna get that set up in the next day or so.
Yeah. It is all about the money for these leagues. It is all about the money. You're absolutely right. Derek wants to know who's being added to the leagues.
So right now, it's not a certainty. They're kind of discussing adding 2 teams to the league. Right now, the thought is it would be Seattle, since you robbed them of Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And the other team landing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thoughts right now. Not sure when that would be happening because, again, it's not something that's been actually like decided and agreed to or anything like that. It's just rumors right now.
Yeah.
So I guess sometime in the next couple of years.
Okay. Well, all right. We got through all of our. Yeah, Ferris. We got merch. we had a different logo before. That's why we haven't really pushed it. Like we were selling it for a little bit, but then we kind of rebranded a little bit. So
Yeah.
Rebranded a lot. It wasn't cheap. So we're in the process of putting everything up on Teespring. Are we still using the other one, T Public?
It's still up, but it's got all the old. It's got the legacy merchandise.
Yeah, the
Not
legacy
old,
merchandise.
The legacy.
Yeah. So
The vintage lunch break hot take stuff.
Yeah, no, there's no link right now, Ferris. We're gonna put the link once we actually got some merch to sell, but with the new.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to show that you've been there from the beginning, like the real beginning, hit our Twitter account, the link tree, go to the store, and you got like I said, all the vintage legacy merch is there. We're gonna be launching the Teespring with our new stuff the next couple of days.
Yeah. So, Derek had a good question. Will they add 2 to the West Coast though?
Yeah, I think at that point they would probably add them both to the West and then just move one of those teams to the East. Like, Memphis is in the Western Conference right now. So they would probably move over to the East. But yeah, I mean that's something they'll realign as needed. But.
Yeah. Oh, Ferris says he will. Okay, Ferris, go get you one. All right. So, like I said, we covered all the topics, man. You guys have any questions? Put them in the chat. We'll read them. Real quick, we can talk real quick about the Conor fight that's this weekend. That I just remembered today because B reminded me. This is what we've talked about, Ferris. This is exactly what we talked about, right? I love MMA. I like UFC, right? Conor's is a big name, but they just don't do a good enough job, in my opinion, promoting these fights, man. Because I forgot it's Wednesday, and I just completely forgot about that. Like we were talking about what we wanted to discuss on the show, and I brought up Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, agreeing to fight on Mike Tyson's podcast, right? And then B was just like, yeah, what about Conor? He has an actual fight. I'm like, oh man.
And you're gonna agree to whatever Mike Tyson tells you to agree to when you're on his show.
Yeah. So, look, Conor's gonna win by knockout first round. I don't see it going any other way.
That's mad disrespectful to Poirier, but I agree. Yeah, I've got a first. No, I don't. I don't agree. Second round knockout. This
is exactly it, Ferris. Promotions be lacking, and there are too many events. Too many events, man.
And raising the price.
Yeah. We discussed it on our podcast over the summer, right? Because when they started Fight Island, even before Fight Island, right? They had their first event, when they came back. Then they had who was the main card? That was the Burns
first one was
and Woodley.
The first one that they had back, I thought, was Ferguson and Gaethje, maybe,
yeah. And
I think that might have been the first one that they did.
Then they had Nunes. Mm-hmm. Then they had Fight Island. Then they had Fight Island. They had another Fight Island that following week, I want to say.
Yeah, when they went to Fight Island, they did I think 4 events, back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Then they weren't all pay-per-views, but they were doing it every week.
But then it was Miocic and Cormier 3, right? Yeah. It was just, these are all within like 6 months, right? And these are all pay-per-views. And I was just like, okay, even if you're a diehard UFC fan, how much money do you have set aside to pay for all of these? If you're a diehard fan, you want to watch them. How much are you going to watch all of them? No, you don't. You're not going to watch all of them. So which ones are you going to watch, right? That's why it wasn't surprising to us when Khabib's numbers didn't do that great, because it's like, bro, like I love Khabib, but I don't have the money for it.
Yeah, and Dana went supposed to be going to talk to him to try and convince him to come back for one more fight.
Ferguson versus Gaethje. Yeah. That was the first one. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Normally I look at it and I say Conor is one that I'll watch. I like Conor, but you raise the price. I'm not paying for Conor Poirier 2. And you said you got a surprise for everybody who streams it illegally, so I'm just not going to watch it, man.
Right. That's how it works. Like that's how it works. You don't boost your sales; you just get less views.
Yeah.
So that's happening this weekend. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not buying it. I'm gonna watch it. and we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's gonna be a first round knockout. Honestly, we'll all probably watch it because it'll probably be an early knockout, and you'll see the highlights on Twitter.
Right.
Adesanya and Costa, that was another one because
Yeah.
that was worth the money.
You know what's a lot more interesting to me than UFC right now? I just started watching the Avatar cartoon, where he gets his Adesanya gets his nickname,
the style bender.
Yeah, The Last Airbender. It's pretty decent so far. I'm only a couple episodes in, but I mean, I don't care about Conor and Poirier. I really don't.
No. Okay, man, that's it. Well, we're gonna wrap up here soon. Real quick, there's some other NFL games, right? We didn't really talk about the Steelers and Browns. I wanted to make sure all of our Steelers fans were out the room before we talk about what happened.
The event.
Ferris, is Suge gone? Is he not watching anymore? Listen,
I find it hilarious that Pouncey on the very first play of that game just threw the ball 40 yards back for a touchdown for Cleveland, and immediately when the game was over, he's like, "Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. I think I'm done, guys. I think I'm good done, guys. Yeah. Nobody even talked about that because, look, it just snowballed, right? Yeah. I still think the Steelers were a better team, but it just snowballed. They just couldn't wake up fast enough, and he said Suge was probably lurking. Okay, Suge. Cover your ears.
Earmuffs.
But going down 28-0, I still felt like I was like, okay, it's Tomlin. He's going to coach him back into it. They're probably going to lose, but he's going to coach him back into it. And then it got to a point where I was just like, man, they're only down 13. They were driving, and I was just like, if they score this touchdown, they're going to come back, and this is going to be it's going to be a backbreaker for them. Can you turn that down, please? It's gonna be a backbreaker for Cleveland. I couldn't imagine Cleveland in their first playoff game in like 20 years,
missing their head coach and several starters.
And if they lost that game after being up 28-0, I don't think that's something they could have came back from.
Yeah.
But Tomlin made a huge error in punting that ball.
I really believe if he didn't punt that ball, Pittsburgh wins that game.
I kind of feel that way too, man. I kind of feel that way. Like, they got beat down, but I kind of feel like, man, if they convert that fourth down and punch it in for a touchdown, I feel like it all goes downhill. Because even before that, it felt like they were trying to give away the game because there were two passes from Baker that could have easily been pick sixes, man. Mm-hmm. And that,
by the way, that is a team, Pittsburgh, that you should watch for Mac Jones.
In the first round?
No. Don't watch anybody for Mac Jones in the first round.
Yeah.
I would hope not anyway.
Yeah. Ferris says that the drive, the fumble, and if the Steelers came back, that would have been the nickname of that situation. Yeah. Yeah. Derek Willie said, yeah. Derek Anderson was a QB, the Browns' last playoff game.
Man, Derek Anderson.
Yeah. And he has had quite a journey since then.
I know. I mean, you remember he was a Pro Bowler in Cleveland, throwing it to Braylon Edwards and Kellen Winslow.
Yeah.
Man, Kellen Winslow, Jesus. Then he went to
Was Peyton
Arizona.
Hills the running back?
I don't think he was the running back on that team.
Okay.
I don't think so. But then he went to Arizona. He blew up at the reporter, asking him why he was smiling on the sidelines when they were getting blown out.
So he wasn't smiling, even though he was clearly laughing. Whatever the joke was, it was funny. He was laughing.
And then he had a whole third career as the backup in Carolina.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, but so we gotta see what the Steelers do this offseason. We gotta see what Big Ben does this offseason. That's gonna really trigger what they do in terms of that team. I think if Tomlin had his way, I really don't think Tomlin has a lot of say in personnel over there. But if he had his way, I think Ben Roethlisberger would have been gone already. I think Juju is definitely out.
Oh, the Knicks are up early, 18-13.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Sorry, now it's 2015.
Oh, Ferris, get hype. Get hype, Ferris. You got a lead. I'm sure Brandon's probably blowing up the phone right now. I haven't seen yet. But yeah, they We got to see what they're going to do this offseason, the Steelers. Congratulations to the Browns, though. Congratulations to the Browns.
Yeah.
But they're playing Kansas City next week.
It is so Cleveland, though, to finally make the playoffs, have that huge win over one of your biggest rivals right after Joe Thomas leaves.
Yeah.
Those are dirt bags in Cleveland, man. No congratulations to you. You don't deserve it.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah, it's clear Tomlin doesn't have any pull over there, man. Which is why I could see Tomlin in like a year or so just saying, "Man, I'm out of here." I can see him pulling the Doug Peterson. Saying,
he's looking at Doug Peterson like, "I didn't know you could do that."
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely not. He's definitely not going to extend in Pittsburgh. I think he's done with them. Yeah. So they have Kansas City next.
Yeah, that's a loss.
That's a loss. What are the other games?
We've got Green Bay and the LA Rams.
Yeah.
I think the Rams defense is really tough, and they've got Aaron Donald and they got Jalen Ramsey. And they've got a great coach. I can't see them beating Rodgers and Devontae. I can't see it.
Yeah, I can't either. Yeah, Ferris.
Joe's doing just fine. All right.
Yeah.
Joe, he put to bed that part of his soul that wanted to win a long, long time ago.
Yeah, he seems happy. He had a great career.
He's on the Rock's new show, the Titan Games.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's one of the Titans.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's in shape. He's in shape. He works out. So yeah, Green Bay. Who else?
Tampa and New Orleans.
That should be a good one.
I said the Father Time game.
Yeah.
I'm taking Tampa Bay in that one. As much as I don't want to see Tom Brady win anymore, I really don't want to see Drew Brees win.
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa.
Can't stand him.
Yeah. Okay, so I think those are all the matchups, and we can end it here. Who gets yelled at by Steve Smith? I missed something here. Oh, Joe Thomas. Yeah. Rams don't have a QB against. He got put out against Green Bay. It wouldn't matter. They're not going to win. Green Bay is tough. Green Bay is that team that nobody's talking about that could very well win it all.
Yeah, if they're going to beat Green Bay, it's going to have to be because Jalen Ramsey completely shut down Devontae Adams, and then Aaron Donald was wreaking havoc in the backfield. And I don't think it's going to happen for 4 quarters.
Yeah. So all right, so that's our preview. Like I said, if you missed the beginning of the show, we talked some Ravens and Bills. Most of us picked the Ravens. I think Derek picked the Bills in the chat. So if the Bills win, he'll be the one person that gets it right. So, all right, man, lots riding on this. And Sam Cook, I didn't forget about you, man. You said you're close friends with Lamar, and you're gonna get Lamar to come on the show. So
see, he very explicitly did not say that.
Well, that's what I saw. That's how I read it. Yeah. Oh, Agent E just showed up. Agent E, man, we was getting ready to sign off. Agent E, man, if you got any questions, man, type them in the chat box real quick. We'll answer them for you. But yeah, man, we discussed Ravens and Bills. We talked about the Panthers, their search for a new GM. We talked about
and their new coaching staff because they lost their quarterback coach and another assistant. They might lose Joe Brady, so I mean, they got a lot of work to do for a team who won 5 games.
Yep, we talked about the Nets trading for Harden and the situation with Kyrie Irving. So yeah, man, go back and watch the replay. But yeah, if you got something that you want to talk about real quick, throw it in the chat box before we sign off. And just again, for everybody like Agent E that showed up a little late, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have been great supporting this channel, man. We just started out. We're just trying to grow. We're setting little monthly goals. What is our count now? We're at 230.
231.
231. All right, let's try to get to 250 by the end of the month, y'all. 250 by the end of the month. All right, so tell your friends. If you're not subscribed,
233 actually.
233. Okay, so somebody subscribed. Thank you, Darius Simmons. He says 35-24 Ravens. Wow. I like it.
That's a lot of points, my man. But yeah, it could.
I'll take it as long as you say Ravens. I'll take it. Jazzy JJ, what is going on? I think the Ravens will put some points up. Lamar is free.
That is an
Pressure is
excellent
off.
point.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point. You know, they got the win, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Doesn't have to be out there pressing, trying to make something happen. He can just go play.
Yeah.
I still think they're going to try to keep it low scoring, though. I really do.
Yeah. If they can run at will, and Buffalo can't stop them, they're gonna bleed that clock. They're gonna bleed that clock. So, I like the Ravens' chances, man. Going into the playoffs. You've heard us on here. I didn't think we were really. I thought Tennessee or the Steelers were the two teams we could beat. Outside of that, I didn't think anybody else we could beat. But I feel comfortable going into this game against the Bills. So,
and also we do want to say if you missed any part of the show, you want to hear more Ravens talk, we are going to be on Engraven's channel tomorrow night, 8:00.
Yes, he was in here earlier.
With a lot of Ravens YouTubers. So come through and you'll see us there.
Yep. All right, Agent E. Oh, Tough Puppy. Everybody showing up late. What's going on, Tough Puppy? They're probably on somebody else's stream. I think somebody else might have been streaming right now. It's all good. Thank you for joining the live stream, though, man. If you got a quick question, man, post it in there. We'll read it real quick. Agent E says the defense got to stop the Bills' passing game. Yes. Yep. Yeah. No, exactly. And B kind of laid it out. You got to take away the deep passes. That's where that's where he feels comfortable, and play contain because he likes to roll out the pockets and he is very mobile, and he's hard to take down. So don't necessarily just the edge rushers. They'll be able to get to him, but contain them in that pocket and force them to throw those underneath and dink and dunk and give them the run.
And I think that they need to tell their middle linebackers to key on the pass game, not the run game, basically. So the Bills like to use the play action to open up the middle of the field. You cannot let them have it. Can't.
Right.
So if it means if they're willing to sit back there and say we're going to beat you by handing the ball to Devin Singletary, then so be it. You got to tell them you better show me you can do it first.
Yeah. Young Black Intelligence says Marlowe will get at least one PI holding a wide receiver deep. I'll take it. Look, I don't mind that in this game. I don't mind that in this game. Just don't give up big plays, big passing touchdowns. So I'm all good with that, man. Like I said, as long as we can have our way with them on the ground, we'll be very successful.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. So like I said, for the guys that showed up late, hit that like and subscribe button. We're gonna try to get to 250 by the end of the month. Also, Patreon. Ferris, thank you for signing up for Patreon.
Thank you.
We have a few other members. Thank you as well to the ones that signed up. We're going to have some bonus stuff for you guys in Patreon coming up here pretty soon. We're going to have a lot of stuff for you guys coming up here pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. So, and if you missed any part of this, there's going to be a replay whenever YouTube puts it out. There'll be a replay of it. But also, I'm going to upload this on our podcast, Lunch Break Hot Take. We actually just dropped the episode yesterday. So make sure if you guys are into podcasts, go to Lunch Break Hot Take. We do that. We haven't done a video game one in a while, but we do an Old Man Gamers podcast. So
I just turned on Ghost of Tsushima on my PS5 for the first time. Blown away.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll read this last one. I think put Jimmy on Diggs with the safety help, and Marlon and Juice Man can negate the second and third receivers. I will put Marlon on Diggs, right? Marlon is he's our best corner. Put him on Diggs, and if you want to if you want to double Diggs, that's fine. And kind of force him to throw. I mean, look, they got good receivers, man. John Brown is good, and Cole Beasley, he's good.
Yeah, and Gabriel Davis and Isaiah Ford. But I agree. I would put Marlon on Diggs. Like you gotta, he's the All-Pro. He's got the huge contract. He's the first-round pick. He's the best player on the defense. He's got to go and take that toughest job. Jalen Ramsey's going to be on Devontae Adams, right? And that's because he's Jalen Ramsey.
That's the thing, right? We get a lot of praise here in Baltimore, and that's great. Like, I think these guys are really good, but these are the games where you have to go out there and prove it. I think people regard Marlon Humphrey as the second best behind Jalen Ramsey, right, at cornerback in the league. And if that's the case, then Marlon Humphrey's got to go out there and man up against Diggs. Now, I didn't think he played bad at all last week. I think, that one touchdown he gave up was just, he got stiff armed, right? And AJ Brown is a very physical wide receiver, but you take that out, I think he had a pretty solid day.
Yeah, outside of that first drive, he gave 3 or 4 catches along with the touchdown. It was a bad opening to the game, but I thought, he was fine outside of that.
Yeah.
But
I think
he didn't think so.
No, he didn't think so. But this week, Diggs is I think Diggs is a better wide receiver than AJ Brown, but he's not as physical, right?
Right.
So I think this might be a better matchup for Marlon Humphrey. I don't want to say easier, but I think it's a better matchup for Marlon Humphrey. So this is a chance. I mean, again, defense did a great job in the first round. They got to keep it going, right? This is where we put the money. So
and it's only going to get tougher.
It is only going to get tougher, but I think they're up for the challenge. So, like I said, I feel good about them right now, and I appreciate it. Tough Puppy. Hold on. My bad for being late. I just got on my phone. Oh, that's all good. Hey.
Well,
family.
Look, it's going to be on YouTube.
I mean, as soon as we get off, you can see it on YouTube. Like I said, we'll put it up a podcast. You're not going to miss it. You're not going to miss this at all. Like B said, tomorrow we're going to be on Engraven's channel. I know a lot of you guys already subscribe to Engraven. If not, subscribe. We'll be on there tomorrow with a bunch of other YouTubers. Joe Nubo. I think Joe Nubo's going to be on there. Yeah. Sonny will not.
Sonny's on a different schedule.
Yeah, Sip to Tally Films.
The Purple Rain podcast.
Purple Rain podcast. Yeah, so
David the Sports and Gamer Nerd.
Yeah. So we'll be on there tomorrow. And then you'll see us again on Saturday after the game.
Yeah,
so.
real talk though, Tough Puppy. Tell your family they gotta wait.
All right, y'all. We're gonna get out of here. Hold on. Let me bring up the music. Let me cue the music because this is the show episode here. All right, y'all. Thank you for showing up. We will see you in a couple of days. Peace out.